Hello everybody, and welcome to another Jarrison Time informational video. In the following video, we'll be taking a look at authorizing and declining overtime via daily summary. The authorization window accessed via the daily summary window allows us to authorize or decline overtime in bulk. Once we have opened Jarrison Time, we'll head over to the icon bar and click on the daily summary icon, opening the daily summary window. After opening this window, we will notice multiple days with unauthorized overtime indicated by the highlighted records in orange. Then let's head to the bottom and click on the Authorize button. This will open the overtime authorization window, displaying only the selected employee's results. In the current example, it only shows overtime 1.5, but other time categories could also be displayed depending on the rules of the day program that the employee is allocated to. Now let's take a look at how to authorize overtime in bulk without making any changes. This method should be used when we are satisfied with the amount of overtime worked by an employee. To authorize overtime in bulk, we must select the records by clicking on the tick box. Once we have made our selections, we can then click on the Authorize button at the bottom right. The system will then display a message stating the number of records that have been authorized. We can then click on the OK button to confirm. Moving on, to access the additional information on this window, we simply right-click anywhere within it. This will bring up a menu that allows us to switch between decimal and time formats for displaying hours, as well as show or hide columns. Then at the top of the window, there are common time options that allow us to allocate a set amount of hours to the selected record. Next to that, we can provide explanations for our decisions to the authorize or the decline by using the common reason option. Now let's start working with the common time option. The first option that we are going to take a look at is the this time option. Once we have selected the option, we need to specify the amount of time that we want to work with. For this example, let's set this to 1 hour and 20 minutes. Then we will select the records that we want to work with. After that, we will notice that the system is allocating the exact amount of 1 hour and 20 minutes. It does not matter if the employee has worked more or less overtime. Next, we will choose the up to time option and then change the hours in the input field for today's example to 1 hour and 30 minutes. And in this case, we will also select a common reason from the drop-down menu. We can then select the records that we want to work with, and we will then notice by using the up to time option, the system will only allow the amount of overtime up to the specified amount in the input field and no more. But it will give the full amount should it be less than the specified amount. Additionally, we have also added a reason, and this will display in our reason column. We then also have the option to set a custom authorization time. To do this, we must ensure that the input field is set to 0 and then select the record that we want to work with. Once selected, the time will be highlighted in blue and we can enter the authorized amount within the limit set to our user account. In the following example, we will set this time to 1 hour and 30 minutes. And then we will see that the system indicates under the time column, the 1 hour 22 minutes worked, but the authorized time is the 1 hour 30 that we are allowing. We will also notice that the reason has populated once again due to the common reason being selected. We are able to remove or change this by clicking on the reason in the column and then changing it with the drop down. In today's example, we are changing this to machine breakdown. Next, we will take a look at authorizing alternate time categories. For this to work, we need to make sure that the record we are working with is already ticked. Then we head over to the authorized category field and we click on the selected record. The time category will then change as seen here. The alternate time category will differ depending on what is set from system to system. Should your system not allow this, please contact your main system user. After ensuring that we have reviewed and confirmed the records that we have worked with, we can proceed by clicking on the Authorize button found at the bottom right of the screen. The system will then display a message with the number of authorized records, after which we can then click on the OK button. In order to decline overtime, we need to select the relevant record or records and click on the decline button at the bottom right of the window. The system will also display a message indicating the number of records that have been declined, and we can click on the OK button. Then it is also possible to take a look at the records that we have worked with. For this, we will click on the Show Authorized button. The window will load, then it will show us the records that have been authorized and declined. To go back, we will click the same button, now called Show Authorized. Now that we have completed the required tasks in the overtime authorization window, we will then click on the close button to exit the window and return to the daily summary window. Once we are back in the daily summary window, we can review the records that we have just worked with. And after reviewing those, we can then click on the close button again to close the daily summary window and continue working with Jarrison Time. That will be all for the video. Thank you for watching and goodbye.